So what we doing is the morning touch up because I pressed the hat, so I lost some of the red. This is Folk Art fabric paint. Y'all can see it. I talk funny. So what I'm gonna do now is just touch up on the red because with me pressing the hat, I lost some of the red. Like the iron is so hot that it literally takes it off at times. But yeah, this is nothing but fabric paint. And I put it on here and I'll let y'all see. So when y'all decide to be a hat maker, okay? When you decide to be a hat maker, the blocks is something that's very important. Out of everything, the blocks is very, very, very important. And this is me doing it lazy. I shouldn't have did it this way. I say that to say, because I put too much. I normally put it in a little tray. But that's how I get this trim going around. I eyeball it and say how wide of a trim that I want, and then I come up with it. That's how I get this. And remember, my turntable is nothing but a wood cake spender and yeah. I love my hats, y'all. I really do. Like, everybody have things that they like to do, and I don't know, like, what I found that, I don't know if not always, I'm not gonna lie. Later in life, I became a serious introvert. Why, I don't know. So me and my therapist was kind of talking about that because it's just what I think it is, honestly. If I could think back, I think that it come from rejection from close friends and families. And I say that to say, like, you have family members and they invite you places. Oh, come on, girl, come go, or whatever. But in reality, they really don't want you there. And when you're there, they treat you all kind of weird and stuff. So I think that it just became that I learned to be okay with being by myself because I used to try to fit in so much with family and stuff like that. And it's just, I realized that, you know what I mean? These people don't want me around. So I just learned to stay to myself and enjoy my own company. Like, I used to kind of be real upset about it because I hear about the family that had big old gatherings and everybody be there but me. I'm the only one that didn't get the invite. I'm like, wow. So I think just along with that and just, that type of stuff. And then, I don't know, my anxiety just started getting really extreme. And yeah, and I just was real uncomfortable in a lot of places. So um, I kind of started being in a house more instead of just being in a house more and not having a healthy outlet. I got into stuff like this, like want to touch stuff, want to make stuff, want to cook stuff, so it's like I won't be like just wasting away. So I found hobbies that entertain me. So for the people that watch me, I do a lot of stuff, different stuff. And I think that that's how I learn to be okay with being to myself, but also learning how to be creative behind it. You know, a lot of stuff, I didn't know how to do none of this stuff. I learned from YouTube, Pinterest, and stuff like that. I learned. And I would say with this, I've been doing this for like a year. So now I've made it like this something I seriously want to, you know what I mean? So I'm still learning a lot of things, guys. I don't know everything about the hat making experience. So I watch people and I learn. But I noticed that if you watch the real hat makers and stuff like that, they got all the tools. They got all the blocks, more than one. They got everything. And that's what makes them so unique, because they have every single tool that you would need to make the job easier. They got it. So a block, if y'all haven't watched the video of me burning a hat, a block is very important. And if you're going to start off doing them for yourself, do your measurements and order your block. And when they take your measurements, now some of them will be nice and help you, but if you just order and don't know what you're ordering, your block might be too small. So if your measurement goes 21 inches, add another 2 inches to that, because you have to put a sweatband in a hat. That's why, like, one of my hats is, I think 2 of them, like, extremely tight, because I didn't know that when I first started doing this. I ordered it like I would order a wig block, and that was incorrect. That was not the correct way. And then if you don't have like certain blocks, you can buy a $25 hat from Amazon and get some duct tape, shrink wrap, and shrink wrap that hat, duct tape that hat, and make a mold of that particular hat. But that means every hat that you're going to have is going to be that particular shape. Okay? So eventually you'll graduate and, you know, learn more. But yeah, that's kind of how I started out. So I have started to get more stuff. I got 3 blocks coming. So this, honestly, for my anxiety, this is amazing. Because I could sit back and do this type of stuff to kind of calm down my anxiety. Yeah, so start getting your spray paints, your acrylic paints and stuff like that. And yes, the felt, the scrawl, you could change the colors. There's a lot of great videos out there, but you definitely need professional blocks in order to do this, and do this on a real level. So I'm most excited about this. But yeah, this is where the red come from, y'all. This was that gray hat. If y'all watch, this was the gray one that I burnt on the table and all that. And then this hat wound up getting too much. This is that one. And then as I'm doing it, I'm like, I was looking at it, and I didn't like it. Remember I told you could change it up? I didn't like it. So the only thing that I don't like to do is try to cut it, because once you cut it, you're screwed. You can't get that back. But painting it, you painted a color and you don't like it, you can go into something totally different. So this was that gray hat, and then I was like, you know what? I don't like it. So I thought about that vest that I had, that jean and them vests. So that's why the dark brown from that vest, and then the vest kind of got this rustic color. So I was thinking about the red, you know, because the vest kind of give off that rustic color. But then when I just thought about all of these combination of colors together, I'm like, this red will really make it pop and just give it something totally different. So this is the hat that y'all saw me while I spray painted the whole top turquoise. Then I went over the top of it with a, I believe I did the dark blue, then I did the white, and then, you know, off camera, I just blend, 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 mix, mix, blend, blend, mix, mix, blend, blend, mix, mix. So I just continued to go until I wind up with something that I like. And I changed the shape, or I made it more like of a, and I don't know all the shapes yet, but I called it, this was going to be a square top, but you see it got the little round thing, and my block might be here today or tomorrow. But I was so anxious, and I just went on and finished this off. So, but yeah, this is, all this come from my anxiety, and it led into this. So I would say to anybody like myself that deal with a lot of anxiety, and you like being alone, pray about it and ask God, what's your hidden talent? Because everybody got hidden talents and we don't even know. So this is something I like doing, and all of these hats is my hat. So people be like, my sister be thinking like I'm a hoarder or something. I told my sister, I'm not a hoarder. This is my stuff, and this is stuff that I wear. And then if you own a whole lot of hats, you won't know where these particular hats at when you're getting dressed. And if you got them stacked on top of each other, then a lot of my hats be warped. So a lot of my hats, now you don't personally got to do this. I can't even talk. I particularly stiffen almost every hat I have. I like my hats to be in a structure where they're stiff like that. I don't really like them to be flexible. I'm going to show y'all this one hat. This one a little flexible, but I prefer the stiffness. Oh, Gino, you're right there, baby. I don't want to step on you. So this is one that is not that stiff. So if you see this one, kind of can still. So, but look, I got a little lace right here. Because I be watching the Kentucky Derby women, and they be having them different hats. So what I want to have is a combination of all kinds of hats. I want to have every tool I need to make hats and get better and better. Get better and better. Where I totally 100% understand every single thing. So y'all see this hat? So this will remind me like something on like Easter or something. You know how the women be on Easter and they have on their outfits and they be having the hats with the lace like veil stuff on there. So yeah, so this one I kind of had in mind when I did this particular hat. So I added, y'all see, the little lace around like that. And then when I hang it on the wall, I flip this back up. I got another one over there, but I don't feel like taking all these hats down. I don't have my stand. And then when I hang it on the wall, I flip this back up, and then I put it back on the wall for it to hang. So also, if you're going to get into the hat making, recycle old clothes, old jeans, old jackets. Because when you start making that sweatband, you can utilize the faux leather or the leather to do the sweatband in there. So now we're just going to let this dry again. And that will be fine. I found out something yesterday. I like to go watch old hat makers. Now, I was listening. I heard that everything traditionally goes on the left, and it was represent freedom and different stuff like that with the cowboys and the feathers and all that, the bows, everything went to the left. I was watching a hat maker last night, a really old video, and as they was making hats, he said that in the hat making, when he make hats for men, traditionally it goes on the left. But when he make a hat for a woman, he put it on the right. So all this time, remember I told you I was just something about, because of the way I wear my hair with this ear, always exposed, this close. So I've always been putting my bows and stuff like that to the right of the hat. this particular hat, so you got to be paying attention when you're working. Okay, so if you look at it, let me turn it around this way. Okay, there we go. See, so my bow is on the right. So every time I do something, I do my traditional bow to the right, because it's like the way I like to wear my hat. I think a couple of my hats I probably did it to the left, and I don't really care for it much on the left. So for the women, yes, we could put our bow on to the right. But this is how I got inspired to make this hat. This is where the red come from. The red was pretty much just something I thought of. I'm like, let's make it pop. You know what I mean? So I kind of just threw the red in there. This is those colors that y'all seen me blending and mixing. And if you see from there, it kind of looks like if I use denim fabric. No, this is all paint. And this is the gold leaf. This is the gold leaf, where you take the glue stuff, you take the gold leaf and kind of put it on there. And then I did a little brown coral right here, the velvet right here. Maybe these are bucket hats. I'm not for sure. I don't know all of the names of the hats, but I thought that was unique within itself. So that's where the red come from. That's why I did the red. So I will link also the vendor store on here. So when you go on Etsy, it'll click you into that store. But what I want to tell you guys is that there is more than her. There's more than her that does sell the hides. So when you're looking to make a hat, it would be considered a blank felt hat. Kind of when you look at it, it look like a floppy hat. But that's a blank hat. That's how they come. Nothing has been done to it. You will have to do all of the art to it yourself. You'll need a block. You'll need whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. So now, first starting out, I would recommend go with a scrawl hat. And I'm sorry, I can't say the scrawls and stuff right because of my speech impediments. But scrawl hats are much more easier. Ain't going to be no buffing, no sanding, no filing, none of that. All you doing is steaming that hat, shaping the hat, and putting it into the shape you want, letting it dry, and then you can add whatever paints or whatever. You can leave it original with no paints. Like that yellow hat y'all just seen me, that's original. No paints has been added to that. It just stayed yellow, or maybe it was white. I turned it yellow. I'm not for sure. Maybe it was already yellow. I don't remember. But yeah, so you could kind of like keep it that way. See, getting my hats down, I be have to use a stool. I'll show y'all this one. So you could do all kinds of arts with these hats. And all these hats that I'm kind of showing you guys are already on my YouTube channel. Okay, so you see this hat? This hat used to be like that purple lavender. So you see what I did? I added the pink to it. I put the band on. So I changed the color up a little bit. So I call these Inspector Gadget. Dun, 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 dun. Go, Gadget, go. So yes. So it was lavender. And I added these colors to it. And I added the same fabric sewed around. Okay. And this was a basic brown hat. And I did all the leopard print myself. Hand painted it. Hand painted all of the leopard. So when I'm wearing this certain leopard outfit, I could put this on. So yes, you could get really creative. And that's something that I really calms me down. I like to do this type of stuff. So yeah, I put the feather, the band, just everything. The art. Y'all can see this video on my YouTube channel. I hand painted this one. This was just a brown hat. And I hand did the leopard print. So go through my videos. I noticed on the phone don't pull up everything. So you probably have to be on a computer. So if you're on a computer and you're curious about this particular hat that I did, go into Go to the picture, click on all my videos, and you'll see them on the computer. And as you go down, you will be able to find any of these hats. Even this one, any of these hats that I've painted, you'll be able to find these hats. You'll be able to, oh, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. So now what I'm doing, I have decided that I really want to do it all the way and 100% understand and all of the tools. So there is a lot more tools that I have to get. So that's something that I'm working on. I'll be getting more tools for my hats. So different blocks. So I'm more or less the different shapes. So I want the Gumby hat or high-low, kind of like the one hat that I kind of the high was messed up, so I had to shorten one side, lifting it. But I'm gonna get the blocks to make them perfect. I want the Gumby one. The flat top is coming. The heart shape one is coming. And I did a heart shape. And when I get ready to do another one, I'll show y'all the one I hand did versus the block that I got coming. So it's so many different blocks that I want. And so many different things that I want. I'm also going to get the shoe sewing machine, because right now what I've been doing, and it's the lazy way, I've been gluing my bands on. Like, especially when it comes to these, the front parts and stuff like that, those is just more simpler for me to glue them on. But some people be liking they hats, they want to interchangeable. They like to pop that band off and do something. So if you like to interchange your hats, then you don't want to do that. But as far as the sweatband, it's best to sew the sweatband. I did it one time on the sewing machine, but I noticed that when they get ready to put the sweatband on, the head already been blocked. The head already kind of be shaped, but it just don't be stiffened. And that's when they put the headband, the sweatband, which in the inside, that's when they put this band on. After the head has been shaped and not painted or nothing, they'll put it on. Then they'll go through the painting method. And I feel like to my traditional sewing machine, I had a very hard time getting this up under there. So you see how this is made? So even if you do it this way, that way, and pushing it to the sewing machine, it's harder to get it like this, to get the band on. So it's got to go this way on a sewing machine and push it all the way up, because you need to sew right here to stitch down that band. And I found it maneuvering it. Now, when the head is just floppy, not shaped, not in the right, it's easy to put it on the sewing machine and flex it and do all that. But once it's in a shape like this, I found it much more harder. So I saw on Amazon, they have I can't even talk. They have a shoe sewing machine. And it's affordable. It's $119. So I've been watching videos on how to thread that. And I said that would be very unique, because if this is something that I truly want to do, then I need to know the right particular way about putting the sweatbands on, not necessarily gluing them, to have them stitched on there professionally. Now the bands, I'm not gonna lie, I really do like gluing mine, because I don't swap out any of my hats. Every hat I have that I make, I got an outfit in mind that I want to wear with it. So every hat that I made, like this hat that just got made, I already, that Fashion Over outfit with that brown vest that I had on and them denim jeans, and I wanted it to be a little bit more brighter, but I just felt like the more white I was putting on, it just seemed like the paint was sitting there, not blending. So I just kind of left it here, because it still mimicked denim. So I'm like, I can get away with it. So I just kind of stopped. I was like, it's the more white I was putting in, and I felt like the white wasn't blending, like it was painted into the hat. I felt like the more white I was putting, trying to make it pop, I felt like the white was just sitting on top of the hat where it didn't look like this. So I had to just put some more blue in there and just blend it in and bring it down, because it wasn't coming to the way that I wanted to come. Like, what would have been unique if I had the same kind of denim of the jeans, and those jeans fit me perfect. I couldn't cut none from the bottom. If I could have had the same identical denim from those jeans and could have made a band with it, and it'd have really been. But I say, hey, it looks like denim, even though the pants is bright, but I wanted to mimic the brown in the vest. The red, I don't know. I just felt some red, and I just put the red there. I don't know where the red come from. I just feel like the red make it pop. it's unique, it's different. So I went on and went with that. But yeah, so I want to get all of the different tools that I need. And yes, I'm gonna have all type of varieties of hats for myself. It's something that I love. I love my hats and to wear them, and I always get great compliments. I love your hat. I love your hat. And sometimes I tell people I made them, and sometimes I don't, because a lot of times people don't believe you. Like when I make clothes and stuff, I'll be like, I made it, and they be like, I'm like, okay. So now I really don't say nothing, because like I'm not advertising to make stuff. This is just stuff that I'm doing for me. But this is what gives me great peace. I love to create and design. So this is what I like doing, this stuff right here. So we're going to let this dry another 24 hours, and I think it'll be ready, because some of the red got messed up, so it just needs to dry. And last thing people ask, with these hats that I done put all this paint on it, once it dries, if it's raining, will the paint come off? No. Once it dries into there, it'll be permanent. The only thing that was making this paint come off is I have that steam iron, and that steam iron is that gravel. Oh, I forgot to turn the button on. Sorry, y'all. You got to remember to turn off this valve. Yeah, because it'll start leaking. That steam iron is very powerful. So when you turn on that steam iron and you go to steaming these hats, and with the water and the pressure of the steam, it can wake up the paint. Where I felt like I was starting to get transfers from the red paint. Like when I turn it on, that iron's so potent, and then the steam come out. That's how I had to retouch it up, because I felt like I was getting transfer. You could see where the iron kind of took it off. So after you paint it, put a cloth down. I use a pillowcase and then go over the top of it, and then I paint it, because I don't want the paint to get on my iron. So, but these hats are not designed as rain hats. When you do all this work, and if it's raining and you somewhere and it start pouring down raining, I would rather my hair to get wet than my hat. I would not wear none of my hats in the rain, because they're not designed for that. Then I put shellac on these hats, so it's a stiffener. So my thing is, you putting shellac and it's raining, now that shellac is going to get in your hair, because it's not going to necessarily come off, but you waking the fabric back up. Like even when I steam this, I can smell that shellac all over again. Like when I go to steaming it, that shellac, that smell wakes back up until it tones back down. So I wouldn't suggest ever to wear no custom hat out in the rain. It's not a rain hat. It's design, it's custom. Protect your hat. You know what I mean? If you can get a bag, put it over it and protect it. But I personally, if it's raining real bad, I would take off my hat, hold it in my hand, and get to where I'm going. Make sure I have an umbrella. But no, I wouldn't wear none of my professional custom hats that I did in the rain. I would not do that. So yes, all of these hats have history. They all go with something that I make. I have so many of them. And my sister, this is my little workroom. I might turn it around and show y'all. She's like, "You're a hoarder." I said, "I'm not a hoarder. This is my passion." So a lot of my hats, I don't like them to be bent. So with them going on the wall, like if you look at a lot of people that make hats, they hang their hats on the wall like this. And it keeps them flush versus putting them and sitting them all on top of each other. Then you get ready to wear the hat, you got to press it out because it's bent. So I like to find a space on the wall, put a screw on the wall, and just put all of my hats. So if I'm getting ready to go somewhere, I'll be, oh, I need this hat. I got a grabber thing too that for the hats is up high. And I'll get it. I'm going to wear this one. I'm going to wear that one. I'm going to wear that one. I'll get my step ladder. But yeah, this is what I like to do. These is the hats I like to make. And so yeah, you can make them. Just start out. The one thing, get your block. Number one, to be able to pull the felt. Then if you don't have the blocks to turn it into like I'll be calling this the Inspector Gadget type hats. Like the fedora with like this. And if you don't have, some people are so good, and this one I did without a block. Some people are so good from doing hats, they don't use blocks and molds to mold the hat on. They specifically hand shape those hats with steam. They don't use that. So later in life, when you get that good from seeing those shapes so much, I do think you can be able to authenticate these shapes without. But the molds give you like precise, like the mold scratches the felt, make it perfect for you to be able to do all this. So I would say the molds is very important. So look at my other video. I talked about the measurements where you'll go, it's right here. When you wear your hat, you'll go all the way around like this. Okay? Right where your hat will rest. And this the measurement you will give to the header. Like they're gonna want to know those measurements, okay? And then they're gonna add a sweatband. So if your measurements come up 23, they're gonna add a sweatband in it. So they probably give you 26, something like that. So when you flip it over, they're gonna want it in centimeters, okay? So that'd be like 56. So when you give it to them, they want it in centimeters, not 24 inches. They want it in centimeters, okay? And then the width of these hats, like majority of these hats be about the height of the hat be like 5 inch or whatever. So that'd be like I cannot see, y'all. I don't have on my reading glasses. So like it'd be like 5 inches high. So that looks like it'd be about 12 or 13 if I can see it correctly. So I like all of the tall highs. But then when you put the band on, it's not gonna look 5 inches. Then when you shape it and bring it down, it's not gonna look tall. Now Erykah Badu hats, y'all know she wear them tall hats, like whatever. Them highs probably be standing up 10 or more, because hers be high. Y'all see Erykah Badu, and I think her hats are unique. They're different. They're, so now to be honest, a hat the way that Erykah Badu wear hers really, really tall, I in real life probably wouldn't wear a hat, because my car is short. I got that little short like sports car. I couldn't even fit in my car with a hat that tall. So probably, say for instance, one day if, they do a fashion show again, if they wind up doing a fashion show and I'm on the sister spokesman's list for, a fashion designer, I might do my hats, do clothes, or I just want to feature my hats. And then I will at that time make a Erykah Badu hat, and it'll be more for runway. I particularly wouldn't wear it like, like that, because I don't like them that tall. But for a spectacle, or or however costumey or whatever, yeah, I will create a really tall Erykah Badu hat for that particular reason right there. But will I traditionally want to wear a hat that tall? Not really. But I did like a lot of her unique ones where she had the head and this whole part be cut out and stuff like that, and they have the metallic look underneath the hat. So it's a lot of great stuff. So I've been doing this for about a year. I'm getting more and more materials. Do I feel like I'm getting better and better? Yes, practice make perfect. I still don't have all the tools to make my job 10 times easier. And I still don't understand every single thing when it comes to hat makers, because a lot of these people I'm watching, they're in the business of selling. They're not teaching us. So you got to take bits and pieces of what you see them do and figure it out from there, because they're advertising their work to sell to us, not to teach us how to do. But it's a guy on Etsy. I love his work. And Shady Days. Y'all go on, I think she's on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram. Those vendors, just the art of them doing these hats and different things like that is like, they're phenomenal. And I mean, like, they do it all. They even put the lining in the hats and just everything. And I'm for sure like getting a hat from Shady Days. I looked at some of her prices. Some of her hats go up into the $600 range. Yes. And then they're using a lot more expensive hide than I'm using. These hides that I'm getting, the most I didn't pay for one hide is $40. some of these hides that they're getting, the beaver, the rabbit, the meat ones, some of them hides is starting at 200 a hide just for the actual head itself. So if you look at the quality of their hats, you could be like, wow, okay, yeah. They using a much more expensive hat. I have not yet purchased $100 hide, but will I probably in the future be one of my favorite hats? Yeah, I will go on into making me at least, I got to have at least one of those $100 hides, you know. But as of now, I don't purchase $100 hide. I just don't. I don't feel that my skill level is there to do that at this point, and I feel like what Ivan said, this is practice, man. This is practice. I think I'm still in practice, so I think that that'd be a huge jump. But I would say once my mind totally knows, like it took me a long time to learn the wig game and what to do, how to do. And once I 100% know exactly what I'm doing, and I feel like I have every tool that I need to make the hat game easier, then at that time I will purchase $100 hat. And actually, what I'll do, so it won't come out of my pocket, I use the money I get from YouTube, and I purchase $100 hide. Yeah, but I've never did it yet, and I do feel like I need more experience before I go to the big league. So I'm gonna wait and get a little bit more experience, get all the stuff I need, and then with that one, that will be the one that I will do everything that the professional the professional headers is doing. I want to have every single tool, and then I'll go ahead and buy that $100 hide, and then y'all will look at the quality of that one versus these ones. But I'm not shitting on these. These is my favorites. I'm not saying, oh, now that I might do one of them. I just feel like I can, for $100, you know, I could get me 3 hats. You know, I get 3 of them, because the scrawl hats be a lot cheaper. So I got this unique scrawl hat coming too. So I hope that this answer all y'all questions. And I am 37 minutes in. Y'all say y'all like the long videos. So okay, guys, thanks for watching. And yeah, this hat has got to dry again. But that's how this combination came together with all these different colors. The red just showed up. Thanks for watching, guys. Toodles.